Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of English Over Tea, Listen and Speak. I'm your host, Anna, and I'm just so happy you're joining us in our little corner of the world today. Grab your tea, find a comfy chair, and let's dive in.
Hey, Anna, and hey to all our amazing listeners out there. I've actually got my tea right here. It's Earl Grey today. Very sophisticated, right?
Very. Dan, today we are tackling a topic that, honestly, it's the Swiss Army knife of the English language. It's a tiny little word, only 3 letters. G-E-T. Get.
Oh man, the word get. When I first started teaching, I had a student who, he was so determined to be formal. He went to a coffee shop and said, "Sir, I wish to purchase a caffeinated beverage and receive it in a paper vessel." The barista just stared at him like he was a time traveler from the 1800s.
Oh no, that's exactly why we're doing this. He could have just said, "Can I get a coffee?" Using get makes you sound so much more natural, more friendly, and, less like a robot.
Exactly. It's funny because English speakers use it constantly without even thinking, but for learners, it can be a bit of a nightmare because it has 50 different meanings?
At least. But don't worry, everyone. We're going to help you get the hang of it.
Wait, Anna, get the hang of it? That's our first phrase, right?
Good catch. Get the hang of it means to learn how to do something or to start understanding how something works through practice. For example, learning to drive is hard at first, but you'll get the hang of it.
Love it. So where do we start? This word is everywhere.
Let's start with the most basic, most common meaning, receive. This is when something just comes to you. You don't necessarily work for it, it just arrives, like an email or a text message.
Right. So instead of saying, "I have received your electronic correspondence," which, let's be real, nobody says that in a text, you just say, "I got your email."
Exactly. Or I got a notification on my phone. Think about things that just appear for you. A gift, a letter, or unfortunately, spam calls. I get so many spam calls lately, Dan. It's driving me crazy.
Me too. My phone won't stop buzzing. So that's receiving. But what about when you actually, put in some effort?
That's our second meaning in this group, obtain. This one is more active. You're working for it. A classic example is a job. You don't just receive a job in the mail while eating cereal. You apply, you interview, and then you say, "I got the job."
I got the job. That sounds so much more exciting than "I have obtained employment."
Way more exciting. You can also get a promotion, get a visa for travel, or get a driver's license. It shows that you did something to make it happen.
Okay, so we have receive and obtain. What was that third one from the coffee shop story?
Buy. We use get instead of buy all the time for daily stuff. If I say, "I need to go get some milk," it just means I'm buying it. Saying, "I shall purchase the milk," makes it sound like a very serious business transaction.
I shall purchase this loaf of bread for $3. Yeah, don't do that. Just say, "I got this bread at the store."
Exactly. And before we move on, there's a little nuance here with fetch or bring. Imagine I'm on the sofa and I'm being a little lazy. I might ask, "Dan, could you get me my tea?"
Oh, so I have to go to the kitchen, find the cup, and bring it back to you?
Precisely. It's a very polite way to ask someone to bring something that's nearby. Can you get me a glass of water? Or go get your jacket, it's cold outside.
Got it. So get could mean receive, obtain, buy, or fetch. Man, this word really does a lot of heavy lifting.
It really does. It's all about things coming to you or you going to get them. But speaking of things coming to you, Dan, did you hear about my neighbor? He tried to get a bargain on a used car last week.
Oh no, let me guess. He didn't get a deal.
Get a deal. That means to buy something at a very good or cheap price. He thought he was getting a deal, but the car broke down 10 minutes after he bought it. He definitely didn't get what he paid for.
Ouch, that's a rough start. But hey, it's a great example of how we use the word.
It really is. Now, before we move on to the next part, let's just take a second to breathe. We've covered a lot already, and there is so much more get power to unlock.
I'm ready if you are. This is actually a lot more fun than I thought it would be. I'm starting to see why native speakers love this word so much. It's just efficient.
It's the ultimate shortcut. Stay tuned, everyone, because next we're going to talk about how get can describe how you feel and even where you're going. So, Dan, you looked a little frazzled when you walked in today. Did you have a hard time getting here?
Oh man, tell me about it. I usually get to the studio around 9, but today, well, the traffic was just a complete mess. I didn't get here until 9:15. I was honestly starting to panic that I'd be late for our tea.
Well, I'm glad you made it. You just used a perfect example of our next big meaning, arrive or reach a destination. In a textbook, you might learn the word arrive, but in real life, if you tell a friend, I arrived at the restaurant at 6, you sound, well, a bit like you're reading from a police report.
Right. It's so much more natural to say, I got to the restaurant at 6. And there's a little trick for our listeners here. If it's a specific place like a store, the office, or the airport, we use get to, like, how do I get to the museum?
Exactly. But, and this is important, for here, there, and home, you don't need that to. You just say, I got home late, or when did you get here?
It's so much faster. I remember one time I was trying to meet a friend at a huge stadium, and I kept texting her, I'm almost there. I'll get there in 5 minutes. I must have sent that same text 5 times because I couldn't find the entrance.
We've all been there. And while you were stuck in that traffic today, Dan, I bet your mood started to change.
Oh, definitely. I was getting frustrated, very frustrated.
And that brings us to the magic of get. It means become. We use get plus an adjective to show a change or a transformation. You weren't frustrated when you woke up, but as the traffic got worse, you got frustrated.
It's like a process, right? Like the weather. It's getting cold outside lately, so I had to get my winter coat out.
Exactly. It describes a gradual change. You can get tired after a long day, get hungry before lunch, or get excited about a vacation. It's much more dynamic than just saying, I am tired. Speaking of which, Dan, I have to tell you, my nephew is getting so tall. Every time I see him, I'm like, when did this happen?
They grow up fast. You know, I actually have a funny story about this become meaning. A few years ago, I tried to cook this fancy pasta dish for a date. The recipe said to wait until the sauce gets thick. Well, I got distracted by a phone call, and by the time I looked back, the sauce had gotten, solid. It was like a brick.
Oh no. So the sauce didn't just get thick, it got ruined.
Totally ruined. We ended up getting pizza instead. But hey, at least I learned the lesson. Pay attention when things are getting hot in the kitchen.
Good one. Now, before we move on, I want to mention a common phrase, get a move on. Have you heard that one, Dan?
Oh, all the time. My dad used to yell it from the car every morning. Get a move on means to hurry up or start moving faster. Like, we're going to be late for the movie. Let's get a move on.
Exactly. It's a very common way to tell someone to pick up the pace. Now, let's talk about a meaning that I think is the most satisfying one for English learners. Understand.
Ah, I get it.
Yes, we use get to mean understand all the time, especially in casual conversations. If I explain a difficult grammar rule and you finally see how it works, you don't have to say, I now comprehend the underlying structure of this linguistic principle. You just say, oh, I get it.
It's that light bulb moment. But it's also great for when you don't understand. I use I don't get it constantly when I'm watching those super confusing sci-fi movies.
Me too. Or when someone tells a joke that isn't very funny, you can say, I don't get the joke. It's actually a really friendly way to ask for more information.
It really is. And it's not just for facts, it's for feelings too. If a friend is sad because their favorite show got canceled, you can say, I get it. That's really disappointing. It shows empathy.
I love that. It's such a versatile little word. We've covered arriving, becoming, and understanding. You're really getting the picture now, aren't you, Dan?
Wait, get the picture. Is that another one?
You bet. Get the picture means to understand a situation or the main idea of what someone is describing. Like, you don't need to explain more. I get the picture.
Nice. I'm definitely getting the hang of this now.
You really are. And for all our listeners out there, don't worry if it feels like a lot. Just try to notice these in your favorite shows or songs. You'll start to see get everywhere.
For sure. It's like once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Exactly. Now, we've talked about how get describes things coming to you or you changing, but what about when you make something happen? That's where things get interesting. See what I did there? You know, Dan, before we took our little tea break, I was thinking about how we actually move around using this word. There are some very specific rules for transportation that can be a bit of a gotcha for learners.
Oh, I know exactly what you mean. I remember being so confused about why we get on a bus but get in a car. Like, why the difference?
It's a great question. Think of it this way. If it's big public transport where you can actually stand up and walk around, like a bus, a train, a plane, or even a big boat, you get on it and get off it. For example, we got on the bus just before it started to rain.
Okay, so I get on the train to work, but for my tiny little sedan, I don't stand up in there.
Exactly. For small private vehicles like a car or a taxi or even a swimming pool, strangely enough, you get in and get out. You'd say, he got in the car and put on his seatbelt. Or, okay, kids, we've arrived. You can get out now.
That's a really helpful rule of thumb. On and off for the big stuff, in and out for the small stuff.
Precisely. Now, Dan, I'm feeling a bit parched. Could you, get me another biscuit from the kitchen?
Sure thing. But wait, you're using get to mean bring or fetch now, aren't you?
I am. In everyday English, asking someone to get you something is a very soft, polite way to ask for a favor when the item is nearby. It implies the whole process. You go there, you find the thing, and you bring it back to me.
Like when I throw a stick for my dog and tell him to fetch.
Yes, except hopefully you won't bark when you bring my biscuit.
Yes. Fetch specifically means going there and coming back. We use get for this all the time. I'm going to the kitchen. I'll get us some more tea. It's way more common than saying I shall fetch the tea.
Got it. I'll get that for you in a second. But first, I have to tell you about my weekend. I finally got my hair cut.
Oh, it looks great. And that's a perfect example of what we call the causative use of get. You didn't cut your own hair, right?
Oh, definitely not. That would be a total disaster.
So when you arrange for someone else to do a service for you because you can't do it yourself or just don't want to, you use the pattern get plus object plus past participle.
Like, I got my car washed yesterday. Someone else did the work, but I made it happen.
Exactly. You can get your house painted, get a pizza delivered, or get a document translated. It's a very powerful structure because it shows you're the one in charge of the situation.
But get isn't always about being in charge, is it? Sometimes things just happen to you.
Unfortunately, yes. We also use get in a passive way, especially for unexpected or negative events. For example, my bicycle got stolen last night.
Oh no, did it really?
No, just an example.
But using got instead of was feels much more personal and sudden. You could say, our flight got delayed, or he got fired from his job. It emphasizes the experience of the person it happened to.
It's not always bad news, though. People get married or get invited to parties, right?
Exactly. They got married last summer. It's still something that happens to you, but it's a happy transformation.
You know, I also hear people say things like, I get to work from home. Is that the same thing?
Not quite. When you use get to plus a verb, it means you have a special opportunity to do something. It's like a privilege. For example, I get to travel for my job.
Oh, I love that. So, because I work on this podcast, I get to talk to you every week and help people learn English.
Aw, Dan, that's so sweet. And you're right, it's a great opportunity.
I'm really starting to get the picture now. This word is like a multi-tool for the brain.
It really is. Get the picture, by the way, means to finally understand the whole situation or the main idea.
I definitely get the point. But man, we've talked about movement, fetching, services, and opportunities. It's a lot to get through.
Get through. That's a great phrasal verb. It means to finish something difficult or long. I got through all my emails this morning.
Well, I think our listeners are getting through this lesson beautifully.
I couldn't agree more. Now let's look at some of those must-know expressions that don't always follow the rules but are super common in daily life. All right, Dan, we are in the home stretch. I feel like we really got through a mountain of information today.
We really have, but Anna, you said gotten through. Is that the American way to say it?
Good eye. Yes, in American English, the past participle is often gotten, especially when we mean obtaining something or becoming something. A British speaker might just say, I've got tired, but here in the States, you'll hear I've gotten tired all the time.
Interesting. It's like a little regional flavor. Speaking of flavors, I wanted to talk about some of those phrasal verbs that involve people, like get along.
Oh, that is a big one. To get along with someone means you have a good, friendly relationship with them. Like, do you get along with your new roommate, Dan?
Actually, I do. We get along great, which is a relief because my last roommate, well, let's just say we didn't get along at all. He used to get my snacks from the fridge without asking.
He was getting your food, but not getting the rules of the house. And if you have a disagreement like that, sometimes it takes a while to get over it.
Exactly. To get over something means to recover from an illness or even a difficult emotional situation, like a breakup or a disappointment. It took me 2 weeks to get over that flu, or she's still getting over her lost promotion.
It's such a helpful phrase. And you know, if things are really cluttered in your life, either with emotions or just physical stuff, you might need to get rid of some things.
Oh, I am the king of that. To get rid of something means to throw it away, remove it, or eliminate it because you don't want it anymore. I recently got rid of 3 boxes of old clothes that didn't fit. It felt so good.
I need to do that too. My closet is, well, it's a disaster. I can barely get by in there.
Wait, get by. That's another one.
Yes. To get by means to survive or manage with a limited amount of something, usually money or a skill. For example, my French isn't great, but I know enough to get by when I travel. Or when I was a student, I got by on very little money.
I remember those days, living on instant noodles and coffee, just getting by until the next paycheck. Now, Anna, before we wrap up, I think we should talk about a few danger zones for learners. Common mistakes.
Good point. The biggest one is definitely the past tense. People often want to say getted, but remember, get is irregular. The past tense is always got. So I got a message yesterday, never I get it.
Right. And the second big tip is about when not to use it. Even though we've spent all day talking about how great get is, you should probably avoid it in very formal writing.
Exactly. If you're writing a business proposal or a university essay, save get for your friends. Use words like receive, obtain, purchase, or arrive instead. It makes you sound more professional in those specific situations.
But for our podcast, get is the king.
Absolutely. So let's do a super quick recap for everyone listening. Get can mean receive, like an email, obtain or buy, like a job or coffee, become, like getting tired, arrive, like getting home, and understand, like I get it.
And don't forget the transportation. Get on and get off for big things like buses and trains. Get in and get out for cars and taxis.
Perfect. Wow, we really covered it all. Now we want to hear from you. It's time for our call to action.
Yeah, we have a question of the day. We want you to go down to the comments and use get in a sentence. Tell us, what is one thing you need to get from the store this week? Or what time do you usually get home?
Don't be shy. Using the word in your own life is the best way to get the hang of it. We read every single comment and we love seeing your progress.
And if you enjoyed this episode, please get involved. Hit that like button, subscribe to English Over Tea, Listen and Speak, and share this with a friend who is also learning. It helps our little community grow so much.
Thank you so much for spending your tea time with us today. You're doing an amazing job, and your English is getting better every single day.
It really is. Well, Anna, I think I should get going. I have another meeting in 10 minutes.
Me too. Get going means to leave or start moving, everyone. Until next time, keep practicing, keep smiling, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye for now.
Bye.